Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Naruto. So we're going to start with the eyes as usual. So on the sides, we'll start with a straight line that comes down like that. Okay, just a really short line. Okay, and I'm going to space my eyes out. So if I kind of put my finger here and say, okay, there's one eye, I kind of want a nice big gap in between. So I'll put another finger here. So I know that now the side of this eye will be right about there. Okay, so I'm just going to space it out a little bit. Okay, and on the top of his eye, I'm just going to draw a curve, arch, just like that. Okay, so I know that this is the front of the eye, and I kind of want to make the same length on this side, so I'll start, and I'll put that in just like that. Okay, now let's put in the pupils. So he's got round pupils, and they're pretty much dead center in the middle of his eye, so, and it's not really touching the top of his eye. So I'm going to go in, and I'll draw a nice perfect circle just like that. I'll draw one of the same size on this side as well. Okay, there we go. And in the middle of these eyes is a little tiny dot. Okay, let's put that in just like that. Okay, and then along the bottom of each eye, I'm just going to draw a line. A slight curve to it. It's not touching the eye, the pupil either. Just a little line just like that. Okay, and then he's got a little bit of a bag, so I'm just going to put a bag here. Some pictures he doesn't actually have this, but I just want to put that in there. Okay, so let's go to the eyebrows. So in between, he's sort of got these two lines that sort of go up in towards the center of his forehead. Okay, and then from here, they sort of branch out and they taper out. Okay, just like that. Okay, I'm just going to leave it for there, right there for now, because I'm going to put the headband in. Okay, but on this one side, I'm just going to draw an angled line towards the center, and then it comes down just a little bit. Okay, that's just a little detail for his nose, or for his nose bridge. And then I'm going to come down, okay, so if you kind of space it out and say, well, if his eyes are here, his nose isn't too high up, but it's right about here, I'm going to put two little curves in, just for his nostrils. Alright? And then his mouth, I'm just going to do a curved mouth that kind of angles up on one side. So he's got a little bit of a smirk. Okay? Let's go to the sides of his head. So on either side, just above the eyebrow line, if you imagine his headband going across, I'm going to draw, actually you know what, I'm going to draw on the headband. So let's just draw the bottom part of it. Okay? So imagine it's sort of like that. Okay? Slight curve. Okay? I'm just going to make it about that wide. And then I'm going to draw in the sides of his head. So I'm going to draw a straight line down on either side, leaving a little bit of gap on the sides of his eyes. Okay. Then I'm going to go up like a V on either side for his ears. Okay, so these are the ears coming up. I'm going to go out on one side, come down at an angle, come down back in an angle, and then come back in towards the head. Okay, so I'll do the exact same thing, same size, making sure that the points are at the same height, just like that. Okay, I'm going to come up a little bit and do an overlap for his jaws. So his jaws kind of come over. And then for his chin, I don't want to make the chin too long, so if I use my finger and say, okay, well there's roughly where his chin is, I'll draw a little point, and then I'm just going to merge that in towards his jaw with a curved line around the jaw towards the chin, and there we have it. Now he's got 3 scars on either side of his face, so I'll start on one side, on the top, and I'll go towards the middle, just like that. Kind of like that. Okay? I'll do the same for the other side. Just like so. Alright? Let's go back up to the sideburns here. So here I'm just going to finish off with a straight line down for his sideburns. And then for the headband, I'm going to come up a little bit on either side. And I'll draw a short tapered line in towards the middle. I'm going to come up a little bit and in, okay? And then I'll finish this headband off with a nice curved line from one side to the other, okay? And then in the middle here, he's got a metal plate, so on either side, I'll draw a line down, and then I'll leave a gap from the top and along the bottom, just like so, okay? And I'll draw a few little rivets, so 3 small circles on either side. And then the logo in the middle, it's basically sort of like a curly 6. So I'll draw an angled line and I'll pretend I'm drawing a 6, but I'm going to actually curl in towards the middle. And then from here, I just draw sort of like a point on one side. Okay, let's get into the hair. So here, I'm just going to do an overlap, okay, on one side and come in. So if I imagine with my eye, I'm going to say, well, I kind of want the hair to come around like this. And there's my highest point here, okay? So I'll keep my finger there, and as I go up, I'm just going to draw a series of sort of points. And they get sort of larger as I go up, and in the middle I'll have the biggest one there. Okay, so now I kind of want to go back this way, and I'm going to be looking back and forth, making sure that I have the same size and length to each one. It's okay if it's not exactly perfect, but there we go. Okay, let's get into the neck. So on either side, okay, so his neck is pretty narrow, so it's kind of like in the inside or middle of the eye. So I'll draw a curve on either side. Okay, and then from here I'll do an overlap for his shoulders. Okay, and he's got this huge sort of turtleneck collar that goes around. But I'm going to draw the inside edge first, okay? And because it's sort of like a, what is it, like a ribbed sort of collar, as I go along, I'm going to imagine this curved line that goes like this. As I go along, I'm just going to draw these little series of curves, just like that. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And then on the top edge, I'm going to imagine a curve going the opposite direction this way. So I'll start off on the outside, and I'll kind of curve up and towards the head, and I'll do that on this side as well. Okay, and then from here, I'm just going to draw a curved line coming down, okay, and then I'll come along the bottom. So I'm going to stay the same distance all the way around the neck. Okay, so I'm just going to roughly go in and do it like that. Okay, I'll draw a couple lines for his shoulders. Now, the detail in this collar, so I'm just going to draw in a couple like vertical lines that just sort of taper out as I go. You can draw as many as you want, you can draw as few as you want. Okay, I'm going to do the same for the outside part of this collar. Okay, I'm going to leave this gap here because he's got this little orange detail. So let's go ahead and draw that. So I'm just going to draw a line on one side, around the same width as his neck, and then a line on the other side. And in the middle here, I'm going to draw the zippers. So 2 lines right beside each other, and then I'll draw almost like railroad tracks down the middle. Okay, and I'm going to go in and finish these lines along here. And let's go and do some detail in his ear. So in his ear, if you start in the middle, I'll draw like a little arrow. Okay, I'm going to follow this line up and then back down. Okay, and then on this one side, I'm just going to draw a little curve. So let's do that again. Okay, so a little arrow, go up and then down, and I'll draw a little curve on the outside, and one little line here for his neck, and there we have it. There's Naruto. Thanks for watching, and please press that like button because I need more likes from you guys. Thanks a lot. See you soon.